Hello and good afternoon from your Co-op Community Stadium. I'm Shaun Cashmore. Next to me this afternoon is Craig Barnes, and you join us as Leamington take on Brackley Town in the final home game of the season here at your Co-op Community Stadium. There is no doubt Leamington have had a successful season back in the National League North with some wonderful performances and results across the campaign. However, since the Breaks had their National League North status confirmed for another year away at Alfreton nearly a month ago, it's fair to say that the Breaks have somewhat sleptwalked their way through the final weeks of the season. The Breaks sit 16th and will be looking for one more big performance to send this home faithful into the off-season with positive memories and anticipation of what next year can bring. Standing in the way of that this afternoon will be a Brackley Town team who have their own aspirations, as the Saints know they are within touching distance once again of the title and promotion to the National League. But if the National League North has shown us anything down the years, it's that anyone can take points from anyone in this division, and the Breaks will be keen to get one over on nearby opposition in front of a bumper Bank Holiday Day crowd. So it will be collected for a throw-in taken by Tyler Little. We thought he might start at left back this afternoon, but Little and Carline are certainly inverted for now, and Carline's the man over on this left-hand side, the former Breaks man himself, of course, as Leamington head it forward. Edwards sends one into the path of Farmer, who scampers towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Two Brackley defenders for company. He's going to run it all the way towards the dead ball line, get a good ball in towards a dangerous area, and in the end, Little had to make sure he headed it out of trouble. Only as far as Carline, left-footed clearance, but that doesn't go far. Meredith, Richards, Meredith again. Meredith shapes, gets his cross in towards a good area. Edwards inches away from it, punches the ground in frustration, looks towards the referee. He feels he got a shove. Didn't look much in it, but he certainly was only inches away from connecting.
He certainly was, wasn't he? Dived at it, tried to make the first contact, knew it was a glorious chance, and as you said, thumped the ground in frustration, looking to see if anybody had fouled him in the process as well. He clearly felt a nudge, but the ball went out of danger.
Trying to crack the Breaks back line are Brackley with this free kick. They send one high up towards the D. Dean rises, doesn't win it, falls down inside the penalty area though. It'll be collected by Lowe. Onto his right foot, tries to drop a shoulder against Quainer. Quainer stands up well and now has Williams for support. Lowe will go back and that will be fed in towards a good area, headed down by a really good header by Hall, but it was straight at Callum Hawkins. Just lacked a bit of power. It was a good ball into the penalty area, but it's one of those balls in which doesn't have the ball on, doesn't have the pace on the ball. Lowe had to try and generate it himself, and in the end just couldn't get enough power on the header to cause Callum Hawkins too much of a problem.
Well, the thing for Brackley as well, they've got to be careful that they don't lose here if Kidderminster do win, because they'll be 3 points behind, and Kidderminster have got a far superior goal difference. I think it's around the 21 goal mark, because Kidderminster have been firing in the goals, whereas Brackley are a little bit more defensively sound.
Ford come Brackley, loose bit of possession just lost and gifted away by the Breaks, and now Ford can come the ever exuberant Roberts. Good ball in towards the near post, dummy by Lowe. Lowe second time effort, and it's been left. Well, Rob Evans just left it. Callum Hawkins looked at him, and Callum Hawkins just stares at his centre-back and can't quite believe what he's seen. It's a little bit of a mess by Leamington. It was just worked in towards the near post from across from the left-hand side by Roberts. The ball was sent goalwards, more in hope than expectation by the Brackley front line. Hawkins thought that Evans was going to clear it. Evans just seemed to leave it, and in the end, Hawkins couldn't adjust and keep it out. Brackley Town take the lead. Brackley 1, Leamington 0.
Yeah, that's a strange old goal, that one. It was the shot came in, didn't it? And as you said, Evans left it. Hawkins was, he couldn't get across. You could see it was in slow motion, really, as it went past the outstretched arm of Hawkins as he desperately tried to keep it out. But Brackley take the lead.
O'Sullivan has the chance to whip this free kick in towards the Leamington 18-yard box. A good ball in towards a dangerous area. Headed down well, kept out by Hawkins at the near post, and then appeals for a penalty. Referee waves it away. Well, it was Hall that hit the deck. I think the initial header came in as well from Lilly, but either way, the referee waved it away after Hawkins had kept it out well at his near post. It was tricky to see exactly who may have brought Connor Hall down, but either way, the referee was positioned well enough to say that there was nothing doing, Craig.
He was, and as I said before, half the stand appealed for the penalty. He went sprawling. The referee thought about it for a second. Arms went out wide to indicate that it shouldn't have been a penalty, and we play on. Jack needs to just tread a very careful tightrope for the rest of this match.
Well, it'll be Owen Farmer again. This will be an in-swinger from the left-hand side. Left-hand raises. Now he swings it in towards a really good area. Players go down all over the place in the box. Leamington appealing, nothing given. It was Jack Edwards who ended up in a heap. And now Richards just played Meredith into a little bit of trouble as he tried to maintain possession. Meredith has to just jog back towards his own goal in the left-back position and tidy up back towards Hawkins. Hawkins long, first time up towards Ward, who's still advanced from that corner. Good win in the air by Ward, in towards Farmer. Farmer, Walker. Walker looking for support, had it in the middle of the park with Williams. Williams drops a shoulder, plays a little 1-2, neat with Farmer. Williams all the way to the edge, offloads, that towards the right-hand side. George Ward has a go. Good block by the back line of Brackley Town. Edwards back into Ward again. Richards now. Richards puts a good ball in. Farmer heads it goalwards. It's a couple of yards wide, but it was a good ball in by Richards and not a bad header from Owen Farmer. That's a lot better from Leamington, and the Breaks fans sound their recognition. Evans makes his way towards the far post. Jack Edwards is asking for a little bit of attention from the referee as he feels that he's getting chaperoned too closely from these corners. Ball comes in towards a good area, headed away at the near post though from Hall. It'll be recycled out by Richards towards Farmer. Richards again, left-footed ball in towards the edge of the area, easily headed away though by Carline. Quainer sends a high ball back in towards the edge of the penalty area. Dean climbs over his man to win the header, but only as far as Edwards, who slays it down the right-hand side for Farmer. Farmer then, being manhandled, down was he? No. Referee points towards a goal kick. Certainly questionable, but in the end the referee was ideally placed to decide if it was going to be a free kick or a goal kick to Brackley, and he's decided on the latter.
Well, I think it'd been soft, wouldn't it, if Leamington had got a decision out of that. But, I think Owen Farmer is really starting to impose himself on this game. And Brackley can't quite cope with him at the moment. They're struggling to deal with him. But Leamington have certainly upped the intent in the second half. Whereas first half, Brackley were structured and not allowing Leamington to play. Leamington very much ears back, having a go. And Paul Holland has said, I think, let's end the season at home strongly. Let's go and have a go and see what we can get out of this game.
So it'll be a long throw again that Brackley Town will deploy as George Carline goes across to take it on this right-hand side. He's about level with the edge of the 18-yard box to try and paint you a picture of exactly where he's taking this throw in from. And there's certainly plenty of height for him to aim at inside that penalty area. The likes of Dean and Lilly forward from the back. Carline with the throw in towards the near post. Hawkins had to come and claim it, couldn't quite because it was just taken away from him by Hall. Back out towards Carline. Carline all the way towards the edge where he feeds it in towards Byrne, headed goalwards. Excellent header by the captain, Gasdeen, and that's exactly what Brackley Town needed. They needed a little bit of breathing space. Leamington was certainly trying to work their way into this game, but the ball was recycled back out. It was put into a really good area by Byrne, and it was headed home by the Brackley Town captain, Gasdeen. It's Leamington 0, Brackley Town 2, and Brackley Town are certainly gunning for that top spot in the National League North.
And it was a great ball over, as you say, and that's a proper captain's header that. He got up really high, used all his experience, all his neck muscles, powered it back across the face of goal. And Callum Hawkins, who's got the sun in his eyes as well, couldn't get anywhere near it. He was back across goal, as we say, and 2-0 to the Saints.
Evans into his centre-back partner, Ward. And Adam Walker, the Leamington captain, will come deep to receive it. Right-footed, tries to chip one into the channel again for Farmer to chase. Farmer will get to this one ahead of Dean. Farmer's then going to keep it in ahead of Dean. Farmer all the way through, then look to be brought down. Referee, wow, it's interesting because I think the referee may have been looking to give Leamington a decision there, and he just delayed, looked at his line-out, and when the linesman gave the goal kick, the referee followed suit. But I think if that ball had stayed in play from Owen Farmer, Brackley Town may have been in a little bit of trouble.
I think so too, Shaun. I really genuinely do. He's caused them problems all second half, Farmer. As I said in the first half, he's really starting to bed in now. Looking forward to him having a good summer, a good chance to really get to grips with the club further and on a summer regime, try and build him up a little bit more muscular. But there's so much talent from that lad, and hopefully he can score lots of goals for us next year.
Sullivan works it in towards the far post, header goalwards, great save by Hawkins. Well, the flag's up for offside anyway. Callum Hawkins didn't know that. Brilliant delivery in again by O'Sullivan. Header on target, and Callum Hawkins had to spread himself, tipped it onto the post. The offside flag went up, but either way, fine save from the Leamington shot stopper.
Well, it's point blank, wasn't it? It was right on top of him. He had to just react. React he did, and managed to get it away, tip it onto the post before the flag went up.
So it'll be a free kick midway through the Leamington half, taken by O'Sullivan into a really good area. Newton! Well, he should score. Danny Newton, with all his experience, right onto his head. Great delivery from O'Sullivan. Danny Newton's head had Callum Hawkins rooted, but it was at least a yard wide of his far post.
He'll be disappointed with that, not to get back on target against one of his old clubs, Danny Newton. Free header, really. Just steered it wide of the post. Should have done better.
Shorrock comes to show deep. Ward comes over halfway, just looks for a little late chance, a little late effort, all the way towards the edge of the box. Walker free on the left-hand side, chipped in towards a good area, well headed away by the Brackley Town substitute Pollock, but only as far as Shorrock, who just takes up station on the edge of the area. Shorrock in towards Walker. Walker tries to go through 2 or 3 Brackley Town players, but no space, no room at the inn, so the Brackley Town back line. Evans then does the same, and then Pollock does the same, and then there's a turnover of possession, but it won't come to anything because the referee this afternoon, Darren Rogers, says enough is enough. And Brackley Town have come here today on Bank Holiday Monday knowing that things are tight at the top, knowing that they don't want to go through the trials and tribulations of playoff drama again, and they've done all they could do today. They've come out on top with a 2-0 victory to keep themselves well positioned in line at the top of the table. They will share the lead at the top of the table going into the final day of the season with Kidderminster, and it's going to really come down to the wire. It's finished here in the National League North. Leamington will go into their final game of the season away at Curzon Ashton, but it's finished here at Yukart Community Stadium. Leamington 0, Brackley Town 2.
Paul, a hard day at the office today against promotion chasing Brackley. Your thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, it's another good side. They got a team that really knows the way around the pitch and knows what to do with it. It's different times, different areas, different spells. They were good. Listen, we've sort of had good spells in the game. The first goals are audible. I think the disappointing thing was to start the second half. I thought we'd come out the blocks and got on the front foot and asked a few questions and got Owen away a few times and got a few good crosses in the box. And I thought, we're asking a few questions now. And then I just felt like I say, the second goal's killed us really. It's a poor restart from us, and then we've lost a man on the set play, but Gaston's been doing that for 15 years now, and it was a super ball, super header. So listen, they were the better team. There's no doubt about that. We huffed and puffed. I just said to the players there, it's a shame really, because we've had some really good spells in the division this year. We've had good runs certainly early on, a really good run, sort of after. Certainly after January there, and it's just a shame towards the end of the season now we've. Just when you were just hoping we could just keep the levels up and nick a few results and push on and try and get the points tally up. We haven't been able to do it, to be honest. I don't think it's through lack of effort. I think on the big picture, you have to look at it and go, we've stepped over half the squad up to this level. We haven't been at this level before. We're trying to get as much as we can out of the boys that have been with us for a number of years, and they've run themselves into the ground again all season. I think we got found out a little bit with probably the depth and maybe in the last 5-6 weeks of the season. Overall, you look at it and go, well, we finished 15-16 points behind Needham Market last year, and we finished 15-16 points ahead of them this year. The fact that we have stepped those players up, the fact how well we've competed, how good we've been at home this year, the fact we've put another player into League One again. So there's lots of pluses, and I certainly don't want the last month to take away how well the group's done. And like I say, it's certainly not lack of application. I think we've been a bit stretched. We've made some poor decisions. I think there's quite a few tired legs and tired minds out there at the moment, and maybe a few weeks ago my kind of targets I set for them were probably a bit too ambitious, maybe, I don't know. But listen, you know, they're a super group. They've done really well this year, so I've just got to have a bobble this week and try and finish with a good performance at Curzon. I think, like I say, just disappointed a little bit today, because I thought at times when we had good spells or looked in no danger, the goals could have been avoidable, really. But that's it. That's where we are. There's no doubting how good Brackley have been this year. You know, they are a team that's just full of. You look throughout the pitch, all over the pitch, and you just see so much know-how. There's quality. There's a bit of pace. You know, they're an impressive outfit. So it's when you see the three of them, Scunthorpe, Brackley, and Kiddie going at it like this, it's listen, that's listen. I can go back to when I was a young lad, when it was the GM conference. You know, when you step up to this kind of level, and we've spent a lot of time at this level. There's no hiding places at this level. You know, so you get found out, and when we've been good, we've had everybody at it. We've been fully focused. We've kept clean sheets. We've been hard to beat. We've been a good counter-attacking team. Scored a lot of goals from set plays. That's when we've been quite at it. And over the last few weeks, we haven't quite kept them same levels up. But the season isn't about the last 4 or 5 weeks. The season's about the 40 weeks, and over the 40 weeks, we are where we deserve to be, and that's not too bad. So like I say, one big final push at Curzon, hopefully, and going to have a good go and see where that takes us.